the president and CEO of the National Urban League, and also former mayor of New Orleans, Marc Morial. And first of all, you're here in Tallahassee for to celebrate the Urban League's a ribbon cutting of their new building, as well as the dinner tonight. Tell me, how does it feel being here and seeing the Urban League grow so quickly in Tallahassee? It feels great.
I've just had an opportunity to take a tour of the building, the Ernest Farrell building, and I'm very impressed. They've done a great job with the renovation. This is the kind of thing that makes you so proud to visit Tallahassee and the Tallahassee Urban League, and to see not only the work but this facility. It looks great. It looks great, and I'm looking forward to tonight.
And speaking of tonight, what are some of the things that we could look for, or will look forward to you and your talk as the keynote speaker tonight at the banquet?
I want to give an update on the work the Urban League is doing across the nation, but you know, you have to talk about this last week and the Supreme Court's decision in the voting rights case, which was a tragic blow to civil rights. So I'll talk about that and talk about some of the things we're doing to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the March on Washington, which now has taken on a new purpose, because this event, we're going to be doing a summit and a march on the 24th and 25th. It's taken on a brand new purpose.
Now, what are some of those, and obviously we're focusing on Tallahassee, but I want to take, since we have the opportunity with you to go on a larger scale, are those some of the things that will be focused on at this year's annual conference?
Yeah, we're focusing on Redeem the Dream and Jobs Rebuild America. The biggest and most important issue facing our community is jobs and economic empowerment, because we took a big hit because of the recession. Unemployment spiked. It's still in double digits in urban communities across the nation. The National Urban League has launched a brand new initiative called Jobs Rebuild America. 50 cities, $100 million over 5 years. We're working to expand our job training programs, after-school programs. We're trying to make a difference in the lives of people. So we'll be talking about that work tonight, as well as Redeem the Dream, which is the theme of our conference coming up in Philadelphia in about a month. In fact, just a few days, less than a month. Exactly. We'll all be in Philadelphia to celebrate 103 years of service to the nation.
I want to talk about quickly, obviously, Congress, the Voting Rights Act was sent by the Supreme Court back over to Congress, and I saw the statement that you released from the League about that. Was it something that was anticipated, and what is the feeling of Urban League affiliates across the country as they saw this landmark decision come down?
I think we all were hoping that we could win the case, and that we would win the case, and in fact remained, I think, cautiously optimistic. But there were signs that this conservative Supreme Court, led by John Roberts, really wanted to disable and gut the Voting Rights Act. And so to some extent they gutted it, but now the ball is in Congress's hands, and Congress has to act, and Congress has to do as they've done numerous times in the past with the Voting Rights Act, and that is to pull together a bipartisan coalition and a bipartisan group of members to write a new formula for coverage. As you know, the part of the act that got struck down is the part that requires states like Florida to get the permission of the Justice Department before they change their voting laws. And that's one of the reasons why the infamous voter ID law in this state was stopped by the Justice Department, because of the provisions that the Supreme Court struck down. So we've got to write a new coverage provision. We've got to do it. Already, Congress members Sensenbrenner and Conyers and Lewis, Senator Leahy and others are already working on that, and the civil rights community will be behind them. But also, this will be up to the people. We've got to raise awareness and pressure from people. Call on our members. We want the Voting Rights Act as strong as ever. We still need it, even though we're in the 21st century. The nation has changed, but the nation has not changed to the extent where we don't need the Voting Rights Act anymore.
What about DOMA and Proposition 8? Obviously those are two.
I expect that the Supreme Court in DOMA and Proposition 8, I think they ruled as people expected. And I think that, you know, to be candid, I think the Supreme Court will revisit marriage equality, I think, in the next few years, and I think the Supreme Court is poised to make marriage equality the law of the land. I think it's going to happen within within years. I really do. I think the 5 members of the court that struck down DOMA in their decision signaled that they're ready to take the next step.
And my final question for you, obviously, as we move into the 21st century, move into this part of the 21st century, a lot of their game-changing things as technology, and they're saying that people of color don't have access to as much technology opportunities. What is the Urban League doing to kind of hopefully open those doors?
I think there are 2 things. One thing that's interesting is that people of color, particularly African Americans, are more frequent users of what's called mobile broadband versus desktop computers. But the more important issue is whether we have access to the jobs, access to the business opportunities. The Urban League has run a program called Digital Connectors to try to increase the technology aptitude of young people. But where we have work to do is to create greater economic opportunity and jobs opportunities in this expansion, because this is changing our world and changing our lives. But let's face it, African Americans are heavy users of Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, many of the tools of social media. We're ahead of mainstream America when it comes to using those tools.
Good, great comments. I so appreciate it. Again, President and CEO of the National Urban League and former Mayor of New Orleans, Marc Morial. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thanks. Good to be in Tallahassee. Thank you.